तो मुझे got it पे क्लिक करना है।
रिकॉर्डिंग चल रहा है।
तो मैं सर यहाँ पे
रिकॉर्डिंग इज गोइंग ऑन।
Okay. So the topic is research methodology, and it is an important aspect of the research or any research study or PhD work. So it involves basically a method of doing research, and there are various steps involved are there. That is, it is to be done with some methods. There are certain ways of doing research are there. So first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm Dr. Trivikram M. Deshpande. I'm HOD for Science Faculty, and today's topic is on the research methodology. So what is research methodology? Research methodology is actually, you can describe or define it as research, a method to do the research. So what is research? Research is a work we do pertaining to a topic. It can be in any area, in science, arts, engineering, or medicine, agriculture, and we work in the area to find some application or some new information based upon the data collection. So basically, data collection is done in research methodology. So it can be done with the surveys. There are various methods are there. So data collection is very important because based on the data, we can then get the information after analysis. There are various methods are there. First is literature survey. Then nowadays there is computer is available. So we can also access we can refer the research articles as well, or we can also refer the views of the author or in the books. So there are various ways of collecting information out there. So research methodology is an area which is a part of the research program. So for example, there is a method to do research. Means what we do, for example, suppose we want to collect the data of some species or organism, or for example, a plant or animal. We can collect it by observation. So this is a morphological observation, or depending upon the characters of the species, external characters, and we record it, we note it down. And for example, we see a tiger. So what are the skin colorations, or what is the body weight? Means we can emphasize, we can check it, we can estimate it. So actually, so these data, it can be collected. Now it's a wild animal. So how we can collect data? There are other methods such as pug marks. For example, the presence of tiger in an area can be also studied with its fecal feces, or also the pug marks, that is specific marks of its from its footwear, that is a feet, and that means we can say that it is roaming, whether it has roamed or it has traveled in this area, or whether it is residing in this periphery of this area. So this is a data we collect from various other features such as morphological characters regarding the presence of the tiger. Similarly, for the tree, we can, for example, some flowering plants with the fragrance or the smell, we can say that such particular type of species of roses or the flowering plants are there. So now it is a scientific method which is very important. Now, what is scientific method? Scientific method is actually we collect the data based on facts. So in science, research is done based on facts. Facts means observations. So these observations can be with the naked eye, or with the observations with the instruments, or with the gadgets like photographs or instruments, the recordings, the data. So all these data is helpful for arriving at some information, getting some information and conclusion about that species or that particular topic. So any topic we say, for example, in Now, today I came to know that there is a new species of lizard is been captured, is identified or discovered. I just read about the headline. So now the research methodology is, what is the method? The method can be morphological characters, then identifying the molecular characters, and then comparing with other species, and then saying that it is a new species or the local species in the area. So there is a lot of importance in research methodology. Now, another thing is how the data is collected. So, for example, any topic you take, it can be historical topic, it can be in statistics, it can be in any area, science, commerce, arts. So, the information which is collected, it has to be collected in a proper way. Means it should be a reliable, authentic information, such as it should. Nowadays, many things are available on Google or Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is updated, but it is not that we have to refer Wikipedia. We have to refer the original research papers of original research articles, research authors, and or the books. And there is also a way of writing the bibliography, that is the references. You have to quote them. So when we refer some data, some other authors, we cannot just mention it as our own. We can modify it, we can revise it, but we are, although we have to give the due acknowledgement or the name of the author in the bracket or and the year. So that is the way. So that means first is, for as an example, any topic, we have to read. We have to read first. You can read newspapers on that topic. You can read research articles. You can read books. Collect as much as information, and then the goal is to get the reliable and correct information, and then we can get the real point about the research. So research is to research again. And why we search again? Re is again and search is search. Or why we search again? To get something new. And when we search something new, we definitely get some new things or new information. Now, how it can be said in research, it is very important. It is very important that there is there should be novelty should be there. It should not be copied. Means then how it can be called as research? Because research, the idea, the basis of research is there should be something new addition or knowledge or information to what the existing information is. And the efforts to gather this new information is, we can say, also research, and it can be in the terms of the research methodology. So, for example, in science, there are various methods are there, and it can be like morphological data collection, then molecular data collection, and then analysis with computer softwares, and also statistical softwares, I want to say. And also, then we can come to conclusion about the reliability of the data. That means we can say it is about the statistical confidence that we can say the results. And also, the further point is that we have to publish. So we can publish the new findings. Why we publish? We're printing. It is not just some information we are sending to press. It is the goal and the aim is to publish the new information we have gathered and put it forth to the world so that they can refer what new information has come out from the new research. So that is the main goal of the research. Now, research methodology is very important. So the data collection, as I mentioned, is very important. So you can make the use of the tools. The tools are there today, like computer. So you can collect the data. I would say those from the biology can also refer from the PubMed, PubMedicine, public medicine database, and they can get the information regarding the research papers or the species, and they can refer that. So it cannot be just conducted in a hazard way and can be presented. So it's a research methodology. Means there is a method. What is the importance or emphasis of method? Method because it is a certain way of doing or collecting the information. Because in the research we collect the information, we collect the data. For example, we have gone to our archaeological site. There also there is excavations are done. For example, whether there are fossils. So the area is searched, the fossils are searched, then the data is collected, what types of fossils they are, whether and what are the fossilized materials, whether they are teeth, bones of, for example, dinosaurs. And based on this information, we come to the conclusion that whether that species was herbivorous, carnivorous, or what was the size of the species. So various other information can be also gained. So there is a method. It cannot be, and it has to be properly documented as well. So there is a lot of emphasis is there on research methodology, and especially also in science or in other areas as well. So in research, we do the research with method. There are various methods. For example, I will say that DNA isolation method varies from that of there are minor variations in the method for DNA isolation from microbes to plants to animals to humans, then other organisms as well. So, and we have to standardize it, and then we can get the optimum unshared DNA from this for analysis. So, accordingly, now then there is next step is that we standardize the method. For example, DNA isolation is a methodology to get the DNA. So depending upon the cell type, depending upon the means proteins and plasma membrane in cell wall, we have to add some chemicals to release the DNA from the nucleus. From the first, we have to get into the cell, then from the cytoplasm to the nucleus, and then we have to get the DNA out of the cell. And it should be in an intact form. It should not be sheared or broken for further analysis. And to achieve this goal, there are different types of chemicals, and hence there is a variation in methodology according to the species. So that is what is important in research methodology. And one more thing I would like to say, especially the biology students, is that nowadays there are kits are available, and we can get, for example, get a kit of some companies such as Hymedia, and just put the DA, put those chemicals, and you can get a DNA like accurate. But I would like to say that we should know. Yes, sir.
I had one
Yes, sir.
question. Can
Okay.
you put some light on data sampling methods for the students?
Okay. Data sampling method, like yeah. Now, as per sir has asked, what is data sampling? Data sampling is again collection of data or sampling. So that are collection of samples. Now, there are various methods. I will give you an example of the lake. For example, those who want to collect zooplanktons from the lake, they can collect it with various water body. Actually, it is just sampling from the water body and from various sites in water body, we can say. And sampling methods, data sampling methods, like as sir has said, it can be put in another way that you are collecting the data on different more data on different data points from the same organism or the same topic or the same specimen. For example, I will give here the example of characterization of stem cells. Now, in stem cells, it is important to check the morphology of the type of the cell, whether it is adhering, non-adhering. Okay, usually stem cells are non-adherent. Then there are markers are there, cell surface markers on the cells or stem cells. So we have to check. So whether they are for stemness, so that means we can find out the lineage, that is whether they are hematopoietic, mesenchymal, or embryonic. And after that, then we have to check, like depending upon their function. Suppose if we add some chemicals, whether they are getting differentiated into other types of cell types. For example, we can say hematopoietic stem cell is converted into neuroblast or a neuron. The neuron cell. So yeah, I will come to that previous question. So
Just one thing
here,
to say, add to your words. There are few methods like stratified sampling, and cluster sampling and sampling techniques to get the data, and based on that data we can do further research over that data.
Yes, definitely. It's a good suggestion. Yeah. So depending upon
can
the
continue.
source of, yeah. So depending upon the source of specimen we want to collect, yeah, it is always said that you have to get the maximum data. For example, I wanted to say in stem cell, we have to characterize. So to say a stem cell as a stem cell, we have to characterize it with various markers, with stemness, then functional markers, and with these markers, then we get, that means